Are we on? Okay, it's 6:30 and we'll call to order the June 15th, 2026 City Council meeting. Would you call the roll, please?
Kathy Griffith.
Here.
Sid Porter. Melissa Hunt. Louis Williams. Adam Webb.
Here.
Rob Clark.
Here.
Mark Ham.
Here. Would you please stand for Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Our next item is the consent docket.
Make a motion to approve items A through G on the consent docket.
Second.
We have had the motion and second. Would you call the roll, please?
Kathy Griffith.
Yes.
Adam Webb.
Yes.
Rob Clark.
Yes.
Mark Ham.
Yes. I believe we're going to strike this item, but I didn't need to read it. It says, receive a presentation from Ben Choate with Boy Scouts and consider approval of a contract with Eagle Scouts project for construction, installation, and maintenance of a tiny library at the 5th and Markwell Park.
Mayor and Council, due to a scheduling conflict, Mr. Choate's not able to be here, so we'd just like to strike it tonight, and will be rescheduled for another time.
Good deal.
Okay.
The motion to strike item 3 on the agenda.
Second?
Would you call the vote?
Adam Webb.
Yes.
Rob Clark.
Yes.
Kathy Griffith.
Yes.
Mark Ham.
Yes. Item is stricken. Item 4, receive a presentation from Fire Chief Ryan Marler regarding the recent request for qualifications for a third-party ambulance service.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. I think they're going to put a presentation up here on the TV screen for us. Back in February of this year, you all approved a motion for us to conduct a request for qualification for third-party ambulance service. I would like to just do a very high-level overview of that and a very brief presentation this evening. First thing I'd like to touch on is the current operational framework for the City of Moore. The City of Moore Communication Center processed 7,000 EMS-related calls roughly last year. That's within the 72,000 total calls that the Communication Center processed for police, fire, and EMS. So 7,000 of those represent EMS calls. The City of Moore Fire Department, we respond to all EMS calls, and we provide scene stabilization and first response EMS. So that makes up about 6,000 of the calls that we respond to. About 75% of our volume of calls are medically related. Further operational framework is currently Norman Regional MSTAT Ambulance is the primary provider within the City of Moore for patient transport and continuity of care to emergency department or the ER. And via central processing through our dispatch and a centralized response configurations associated to the call type and centralized medical protocols is how we get that done amongst fire, EMS, and police when that's required. I'd like to touch just briefly on call volume demand and trends. For the fire department, we have a sustained annual increase of about 5% annually for about 52% since 2015. And there's a direct proportional increase in EMS calls for the fire service. So those EMS calls are going up at that rate. When we talk about the fire department calls, though, it's important to remember that we respond to fires, motor vehicle accidents, swift water incidents, down power lines, the assortment of fire-related calls, but we also have that EMS component. So beyond the heart attacks, the difficulty breathing, those types of calls, there's also medical components related to motor vehicle accidents. There's medical components related to swift water incidents with victims. So those types of calls merge and come together. So it's not just straight up EMS calls, but calls with an EMS component that exist for us as well. Also here in the City of Moore, as call volume goes up with the resources we have, simultaneous calls are occurring at about roughly a rate of about 50% annually, which means we're having more than one call at a time. We have 2 calls at a time, 3 calls at a time, and this depletes resources. So we'll have an engine company on one call, another engine company on another call, We only have 2 ambulances. Those ambulances will get spread thin currently under the contract that we have. So that's kind of the volume and demand and trends that we're currently seeing right now. The key drivers are no surprise to the EMS demand: growth, population, urban expansion, increased utilization of the EMS and emergency department system rather than a primary care physician, chronic disease, substance abuse, behavioral health. These are all drivers to the increase in call volume that we're seeing in the EMS area. When we switch gears here to the RFQ, the purpose of the recent ambulance RFQ was for us to evaluate and validate the current market capabilities and provider qualifications. It was to validate industry standards and modern EMS best practices. It was to validate operational capacity, service quality, and service reliability, and then create a competitive benchmarking to ensure the service expectation that we expect is aligning with our community. We engaged about 11 agencies across the state of Oklahoma. We engaged agencies outside of the state of Oklahoma. We engaged agencies that are coast-to-coast providers, multi-state providers. So we had a pretty broad spectrum. They provided very comprehensive, detailed analysis of what they think that the response expectations and coverage maybe to the city of Moore should look like. And we were able to utilize all of this data to kind of measure where we're at right now. So just briefly in a couple of slides, some of the findings, consideration, and best practices. As we already know and we continue to learn from this process, the high-performing EMS systems emphasize strong fire and EMS integration. So from the fire department perspective, we have 4 engine companies. The ambulance side currently has 2 ambulances. So when those ambulances get thin, our fire companies can continue to respond to calls and provide that first responder level care. It's important to understand that firefighters often ride into the hospital with ambulances and provide care en route to the hospital and during that transfer that occurs inside there. It's also important to understand that beyond the basic medic level we have on the fire truck, we also have paramedics that are on the fire truck. And they're force multipliers during times of mass casualty incidents and disasters and such like that when the ambulance services can be tapped out. The second thing is clinical quality improvement. So it's very important to identify trends and gaps and opportunities so we can improve survival rates and overall outcomes. It's very important for us to be reviewing cardiac arrest information, stroke recognition, airway management, trauma interventions to make sure that our care continues to improve and we're filling in gaps where necessary. These things combined are going to make sure that we preserve a high quality care to our citizens. If we continue this topic here, it's very important that we have ALS ambulance availability daily, during peak demand, and during times of surge. So we said in '25, they made about 7,000 EMS-related calls here in the city of Moore, emergency, non-emergency, and transfers. You got to remember that there's a component of delivering people to hospitals all across our metro, about roughly a dozen facilities from Mercy, St. Anthony's Baptist, to even closer agencies here, Norman Hospital. There's delays that occur with that. They don't always get a bed. Sometimes they're stuck in the hall, which has our ambulances on the other side of the metro, not here, able to provide transport. So sometimes mutual aid has to be used, and mutual aid is unavoidable during times of disaster and during times of surge. However, mutual aid should not be what is used to get the daily expectation done. We should have enough resources to where we're not constantly relying on a mutual aid component. It's very important that we maintain a reliable response time here in the city. Currently, that response time is 8 minutes or less. But with the call volume increasing, concurrency of call volume occurring, it's going to make it difficult to continue to arrive in a timely fashion. So we may have to potentially look at additional ambulance units in the city of Moore moving forward. So 2015 is when we made the agreement we currently have. The call volume continues to increase by 5% every single year. The call volume's going up with the same number of units that we've had in the city. So some of the information that was provided by other services that exist out there, currently we have 2 ambulances, and on some days we have a surge truck, a peak truck. The recommendations in these packets provided that maybe that should be 3 trucks, maybe 3 trucks and a peak truck, maybe 4 trucks. That need to be looked at closer with better data in the future to decide if that change is necessary, to make sure we're providing good coverage to the citizens of Moore. The overlapping component is also a very important thing. The overlapping calls continue to increase year after year, and that depletes resources, and we need to be able to provide the resources to the citizens of Moore. Continue on the considerations and finding, staff stability, the retention and consistency over time, and staff reliability, day-to-day predictability is very important to make sure that we have a resilient system. So we have to have agencies that have enough staff, that have enough depth on the bench, that when things occur, sickness results, we can still have ambulances that are still in service. It's also very important in some of these agencies provided examples of very robust real-time response system compliance through transparent reporting. So there's softwares, systems out there that are going to show us exactly where the trucks are posted in our city. Are they posted to have good coverage? What's the current location and status of these units? What's the response time compliance by the hour, by the day, by the week? So very good accountability measures in place through these contractual obligations to make sure that they're delivering on what the expectation is. Then the last point here on this slide is physical solvency and sustainability. It's very important for us to have a robust agency that's providing service for us, that has depth on the bench, and they're able to meet the need during the surge and mass casualty incidents. This is a very brief overview of the RFQ, but the summary is emergency medical demand continues to increase for us. It remains critical public safety service for the citizens of Moore. When they're having their moments of a heart attack, a difficulty breathing, an emphysema spell, or that's a vehicle accident or a victim of a swiftwater rescue incident, they expect us to arrive and make their day better. The RFQ process provided valuable benchmarking and industry insight for us. The city's EMS provider must remain adaptable, reliable, and sustainable. I'd be happy to answer any questions if you have any.
Tell me what, currently our agreement with Norman MSTAT, is that?
Yep, that's correct, sir.
They are to have 2 ambulances in our city,
That's correct.
and are they able to do that?
We've had some times where that's been a challenge for them. They're requesting our ambulances often back to Norman to help provide coverage down there. They've had some times where they've had some staffing issues with that.
Sure. Have we ever not had an ambulance? I mean, have they requested both of the units, or, I guess my question is, they are our primary provider, and are there times when there's just not an ambulance in our city?
While it's great to be part of a larger system that also covers Norman because it provides resources, we're also part of a system that covers Norman, so they'll request our resources down there. So there have been times where we've been left with no trucks. Call volume alone has resulted in us not having enough trucks. So we may need to be consideration to have additional units on the street to absorb call volume alone. Beyond the call volume component, we want them to have some resiliency about them, be able to have some better depth on the bench. Some of these units are getting responded down to Norman to provide coverage that's maybe lacking in the city of Norman. That's what's kind of caused us to go down this path.
And I guess if the ambulances are in Norman taking calls, which I understand why they're doing that, then when we need an ambulance, we still use Norman?
Well, at that point, their system is depleted, and then we're having to mutual aid request to IMSA or Pafford or one of the neighboring communities to the north of us for a resource. That
How long might that take if we have to go through our mutual aid?
it could take a while. It could take longer than you would desire it to take. I don't have an exact answer for you on that, but beyond the expectation of 8 minutes that we have, and these surge times are going to occur. It's inevitable, right? But it shouldn't be frequent. And there's kind of been some peaks and valleys lately with the service we have. But we've had to rely on trucks coming from Del City, trucks coming from Oklahoma City, even requests as far out to Midwest City and further.
Okay. And you mentioned that at our fire department, we have some paramedics. How many paramedics do we have?
I think we have about 9 paramedics right now. We have about a handful of what's called an advanced EMT, and then the rest of the department is basic EMTs.
So our paramedics, of course, are able to provide better care for our residents here in Moore. If we're having to wait 15 or 20 minutes for an ambulance, they can do a little bit more than what a basic EMT could.
Yes, we worked with our medical director and increased the scope of practice for those people and that we have on the department. And they have an expanded kit that provides first-round cardiac drugs, airway management that's advanced, a number of drugs that can be delivered, which is much more than what a basic EMT can do. It's the thing that the ambulance is going to do when they show up right off the bat. So we're able to do that first thing, that first round of drugs necessary in maybe a cardiac event, and able to provide that care as we're waiting on an ambulance to come back.
Able to push drugs
Yes,
for the patient if needed, whereas an EMT, a basic EMT, can't do that.
correct.
Okay.
Paramedic fire service is a win and a benefit to the community.
Okay. Well, you know, I guess as you're looking at some of these other ambulance service, and I'm just curious, would they utilize our current facility? I guess the old Station 3, what is that, 19th and Eastern? Would they be here 24 hours, or may they do 12-hour shifts? Or is any of that going to be in the proposal of what we want?
So the goal right now was a qualification right now. Who's out there? What do they have available? What do they look like? In the future, we may come back for movement forward on this topic. The current agents, excuse me, the agencies that submitted, they have a variation of the work schedules. However, there's 24-hour coverage. Whether that be 2 trucks, 3 trucks, whatever the recommendation is. Information was provided of the facilities that we do have at the old Fire Station 3 on Eastern. They would like to continue to use that. However, some of those agencies, you know, that location responding to the busiest side of town over here on this side of town, some of those agencies may choose to just post a truck like
Right.
you would commonly see IMSA do, post in parking lots for a better response time. So it's often that our fire units are arriving to the scene before the ambulance because they're coming from the furthest corner diagonally across our city, where these other agencies may choose to use that facility and post or find another facility maybe in the northwest corner of the city.
Okay. Well, I would hope that our current provider can, I don't know, I don't want to say do better, but if, you know, I think we've been pretty happy with them since we've been in an agreement with them since 2015, is that what you said?
Yes, sir.
And I would hope that they might be able to continue, but if not, I would expect the same level of care that Norman Imstad's been providing from whoever it is of these, if we end up going out looking for a new ambulance service, somebody to provide that same level of care or even more.
We've had a
Anybody
good
else have any
relationship with
questions?
MSTAT for years, and they've provided care.
Yeah,
There's some contractual language in place, and, you know, exploring this qualification component has even opened our own eyes to what would the proper level of coverage look like in a place like City of Moore from these other agencies that specialize in EMS.
and I also appreciate the looking to equip our firefighters better. I guess those that would be interested in achieving a rank of paramedic. And I assume that the city pays for that training for those firefighters that choose that?
We worked through some time back with you all, making some adjustments to the procedure manual to facilitate the educational pathway to paramedic to be more beneficial for those people wanting to accomplish that. So we were able to get that done.
Okay, all right. That's all the questions I have.
How many paramedics do we have right now?
There were roughly 9 paramedics, I believe.
And what's the ideal number?
So we hope to have 5 companies in place, 5 companies with 3 shifts, 15.
Okay.
So we hope our first benchmark will be to have 15 paramedics. But that's not going to put them here every day because people are off and they're sick leave. So ultimately, we're going to strive for 30 paramedics And we ought to have enough depth on the bench with people off on injury leave, et cetera, to have a paramedic in every district every day.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Anyone else? And this is just a presentation, no action?
Action.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. Item 5 is consider approval of a contract with Pivot Inc. in the amount of $26,000 to provide a holding center of juvenile offenders and those in need of supervision for a contract period of July 1, 2026 to June 30th, 2027.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. This is our annual Pivot renewal contract. The price did go up by $2,000 over last year. That price was expected, that increase was expected, it was negotiated, and it was budgeted for. No other significant changes to the contract. We'd recommend approval.
Make a motion to approve?
Second?
You can call the vote, please.
Rob Clark,
Yes.
Kathy Griffith,
Yes.
Adam Webb,
Yes.
Mark Ham.
Yes. Item passes. Thank you. Item 6 is consider entering into a maintenance, financing, and right-of-way agreement with the State of Oklahoma Department of Transportation, financing a not-to-exceed ACOG STBG in the amount in the total established cost of $4,829,567 for the Northwest 27th Street reconstruction from I-35 to Hillcrest Drive, R&R TIP ID 294 project and more, project number STP-214B184AG and state job number 38-107-04-05-06-07, and authorize mayor to execute agreement.
Mayor and council, this is an ACOG project. We had submitted for ACOG funding for 27th Street between I-35 and Hillcrest Road. We were awarded almost $5 million. So this is the project agreement that we signed with ODOT to be able to continue to move the process forward. Doesn't mean construction is imminent. I'm not sure how far away we are from construction, but it's still quite a ways because there's other design work and things to do. But this is just the project agreement that's required. We've done this on all of our other ACOG projects, so this is something we're used to. Recommend approval.
Make a motion to
To
approve?
approve?
Second?
Would you call the vote, please?
Kathy Griffith,
Yes.
Adam Webb.
Yes.
Rob Clark,
Yes.
Mark Ham.
Yes. Item carries. Item 7 is consider entering into a maintenance, financing, and right-of-way agreement with the State of Oklahoma Department of Transportation Finance, not to exceed ACOG STBG, and the total amount cost $344,390 for LED street signs to be replaced at 7 intersections along 19th Street from Santa Fe to Broadway, tip 485 project and more, project number J39277-004 AG, and state job number 39277-04-05-06-07, and authorizing the mayor to execute agreement.
Mayor and council, this is a similar agreement to the item that was just approved. This one deals with the lighting along 19th Street. Recommend approval.
Make a motion to approve?
Second?
And you call the vote, please.
Adam Webb,
Yes.
Rob Clark,
Yes.
Kathy Griffith,
Yes.
Mark Ham.
Yes. Item carries. Item 8 is considering entering into an agreement with TAP Architecture LLC in the amount of $134,000 for professional services for construction documents and construction administration for the City of Moore Public Works Maintenance Facility Phase 2 project.
Mayor and council, this is the last section of the building over at Public Works to be completed. It's been approved in the budget. This is just for the rest of the professional services that we need from TAP. Recommend approval.
Make a motion to approve?
Second?
You call the vote, please.
Rob Clark,
Yes.
Kathy Griffith,
Yes.
Adam Webb,
Yes.
Mark Ham.
Yes. Item carries. Item 9 is consider approving a cooperative agreement between the City of Moore and the City of Norman for the joint 36th Avenue Northwest and Telephone Road reconstruction project.
Mayor and council, this project has been talked about for some time and also has to do with the turnpike, since that project is now ongoing. It's always been thought that we would do this in conjunction with the City of Norman. We've used the same engineering firm to do the design, and so this is just the joint agreement. Recommend approval.
And didn't the City of Norman get a substantial grant for this project, do you know, on their side?
It seems like they did, but I'm not exactly sure.
Maybe
but-
if you double check and just
Sure.
let the council know, because I know we did a GO bond for our side, and if there is a,
This project was submitted jointly, so
Okay.
any award amount we would share in that
yeah,
part
'cause
of. So
I think they did. But maybe if you wouldn't
Sure.
just confirm that, because it would be great for
Okay.
us to not have to issue that, very much of that bond for that project. I'd like to let our citizens know. And, did we do the motion and stuff?
Make a motion to approve?
Second?
Would you call the vote?
Kathy Griffith,
Yes.
Adam Webb,
Yes.
Rob Clark.
Yes.
Mark Ham.
Yes, item passes. Item 10, consider and if deemed appropriate, accept nominations and elect a vice mayor.
I'd like to nominate Rob Clark as vice mayor.
Second?
Okay, you're good with that, Rob?
I'm good with that.
All right. Call the vote, please.
Kathy Griffith,
Yes.
Adam Webb,
Yes.
Rob Clark.
Yes.
Mark Ham.
Yes. At this time, we're going to recess the city council meeting and convene the Moore Public Works Authority meeting. Item 11 is consent docket.
Make a motion to approve consent dockets, items A and B.
Second?
You call the vote?
Adam Webb,
Yes.
Rob Clark,
Yes.
Kathy Griffith,
Yes.
Mark Ham.
Yes. Item passes. Item 12 is consider approval of actuarial services agreement with Select Actuarial Services for 3 years in the amount of $9,950 per year.
Mayor and trustees, Select Actuarial Services have provided actuarial services for us since 2001, so about 25 years now. We use this report for budgeting purposes and to get an unmodified audit report of the city's audit. The last renewal 3 years ago was at $9,500 per year, so this increase is $450 per year. We believe that this increase is reasonable. We would recommend approval.
All right.
Make a motion to approve?
Second?
We've had the motion and second. You can call the vote.
Rob Clark,
Yes.
Kathy Griffith,
Yes.
Adam Webb,
Yes.
Mark Ham.
Yes. Item carries. Item 13 is consider and if deemed appropriate, accept nominations and elect a vice chair of the trust.
I'd like to nominate Sid Porter.
Second?
Okay, and this, just council members, this is not a good time to be gone from the meeting. So hearing no objections, would you call the vote, please?
Rob Clark,
Yes.
Kathy Griffith,
Yes.
Adam Webb,
Yes.
Mark Ham.
Yes. Congratulations, Sid. Item 14 is consider and if deemed appropriate, accept nominations and elect a secretary of the trust.
Nominate Louis Williams.
Second?
Would you call the vote?
Kathy Griffith,
Yes.
Adam Webb,
Yes.
Rob Clark,
Yes.
Mark Ham.
Yes, item carries. We're going to recess the Moore Public Works Authority meeting and convene the Moore Risk Management meeting. Item 15 is consent docket.
Make a motion to approve consent docket item A and B?
Second?
Would you call the vote?
Kathy Griffith,
Yes.
Adam Webb,
Yes.
Rob Clark,
Yes.
Mark Ham.
Yes, consent docket carries. Item 16 is consider and if deemed appropriate, accept nominations and elect a vice chair of the Moore Risk Management Board.
I'd like to nominate Louis Williams.
Second?
Call the vote?
Adam Webb,
Yes.
Rob Clark,
Yes.
Kathy Griffith,
Yes.
Mark Ham.
Yes. Item 17, consider and if deemed appropriate, accept nominations and elect a secretary of the Moore Risk Management Board.
I'd like to nominate Kathy Griffith.
Second?
Would you call the vote, please?
Rob Clark,
Yes.
Kathy Griffith,
Yes.
Adam Webb,
Yes.
Mark Ham.
Yes, item carries. And then we're going to recess the Moore Risk Management meeting and convene the Moore Economic Development Authority meeting. And is that person?
Is that me?
That's
Okay, that's me. Can we take roll, please?
Kathy Griffith,
Here.
Sid Porter, Mark Ham,
Here?
Louis Williams, Adam Webb,
Here?
Rob Clark,
Here.
Melissa Hunt.
Item 19, consent docket.
Make a motion to approve consent docket items A and B.
Second?
Call roll, please.
Kathy Griffith,
Yes.
Adam Webb,
Yes.
Rob Clark,
Yes.
Mark Ham.
Yes.
Item 20, consider and if deemed appropriate, accept nominations and elect a chair of the Moore Economic Development Authority.
I'd
And
like to nominate, Sid Porter.
I'll second the nomination.
Rob Clark,
Yes.
Mark Ham,
Yes.
Adam Webb,
Yes.
Kathy Griffith.
Yes.
Item 21, consider if deemed appropriate, accept the nomination and elect a vice chair of the Moore Economic Development Authority.
I'd like to nominate Melissa Hunt.
Second.
Call roll.
Adam Webb,
Yes.
Rob Clark,
Yes.
Kathy Griffith,
Yes.
Mark Ham.
Yes.
Item 22, consider and if deemed appropriate, accept nominations and elect a secretary of the Moore Economic Development Authority.
I'd like to nominate Adam Webb.
Second that?
Call roll, please.
Kathy Griffith,
Yes.
Adam Webb,
Yes.
Rob Clark,
Yes.
Mark Ham.
Yes.
Recess the Moore Economic Development Authority meeting and reconvene the city council meeting.
Okay, let the record reflect that all members are still present. New business, citizens forum, items not on the agenda. I didn't have anyone sign up. Is there anybody here that would like to say something? Item B is items from the city council trustees. I would just make I know often people are looking for opportunities to be involved in their local government, and we are accepting applications for the Planning Commission, I believe through July 1st by 5 p.m. So if you're interested, just go to the city's webpage, and you can find the link and apply for that. It's a pretty active commission to serve on, so if you're looking to want to do some things, that'd be a great opportunity. And then coming up in July is our 4th of July activities, and again, our website will have all of that. And we are celebrating our America's 250th birthday, and it's going to be every year's a great fireworks display. This one's going to be even greater. It's going to it's going to be big. How would our president say? It's going to be huge.
Yeah.
It's going to be huge. So, I encourage you to come out and check everything that's happening, and just talked with Sue a little bit before the meeting. The swimming pool is going 100%, and a lot of swimmers and a lot of other activities are taking place in our parks. It's a busy place with lots of kids and adults utilizing all of our facilities across the city. So good job, and we appreciate everybody making that happen. And item C would be items from our city trust manager.
Mayor and council, just wanted to follow up. I was elected to the OML board last week, so I'll be representing the city of Moore in District 8, so certainly looking forward to that. Last Friday, the fire department had an awards ceremony, and in that ceremony, two firefighters, Tristan Marty and Eric Gutierrez, were recognized for bringing someone back to life through their use of CPR. And so that gentleman was there and wanted to come and thank them. So, I mean, it was, you know, it was a great moment, and they do a great job. And so, you know, this is just another example of why we need this paramedic program. And again, I mean, I've been at this 10 years, and it's kind of the same thing every year. I'm just always surprised that the union leadership wants to deny opportunities to their members. That's all I got.
Thank you, Brooks.
Thank you.
Okay, with that, item 24 would be adjournment.
Make a
motion to
adjourn.
Second.
You can call the vote.
Kathy Griffith,
Yes.
Adam Webb,
Yes.
Rod Clark,
Yes.
Mark Ham.
Yes, we're adjourned. Thanks, everybody.